Hello, what's up guys? I'm Kyle from KGR, and today we're going to be taking a look at Tomy's Ultimate Classic Sonic figure. Now, I've had this figure for a couple of years now, and now is a weird time to review it. Because this guy is no longer in production, so the price did go up on him, but also, as of this recording at the same time, the Nendoroid, which this figure is very often compared to, is now in stock, and they're priced very close to each other. I'm not going to compare them directly in this video, but maybe next week. If you want to see that, let me know in the comments. But today we're going to just take a look at him, and I'll still slightly go over the question, like, is he worth picking up more than Nendoroid, or is a Nendoroid better? But this thing's neat. But that's not the review. So let's get this guy on the stage and take a closer look. And here he is, the Blue Blur himself. Now, if there is one thing I can say about this figure is, this figure is absolutely cute. Classic Sonic, in general, is absolutely adorable. I have the 10-inch one from Jazzwares, and it's the cutest thing. I love it so much. In fact, the articulation on this thing is relatively close to that. But this, in my opinion, is the best Classic Sonic figure by far. Now, I will fair warn you, this thing is 5.5 inches tall, so if you wanted to scale with other figures, I'm not sure how well that's going to go, but I got this figure just for himself because he's so cool and he comes with so much and he's just amazing. So if you don't care about that, then cool, but if you do, keep that in mind. Now, I don't know what it is about this figure, but like, it has such a soft touch to like all of its blue parts. Like, it's a solid figure. Like, it is dense. Like, it's not squeezable or anything. It's not like a plushie. It's not flocked like Pops or anything. But it has some felt to it. I don't know. Like, I don't know how exactly to describe it. I'm at a loss of words. But it's so soft to the touch, and it's just so satisfying to just rub your fingers on it. And especially if you're a collector, where like you don't really play with it all that much, and like every once in a while you touch it on your shelf, and it just keeps that soft touch. Because I feel like if you play with it a lot, your greasy hands or your sweaty hands will just ruin this little soft finish maybe. But this thing is just so great. It's so satisfying to have. And also, it's a little belly pouch right here. Like, I'm gonna go over the articulation, but like, I love the fact that even though they do give him like a waist cut to move wherever you want, they like actually made the belly like a different piece to like overlap it, so it doesn't destroy the illusion or anything. Like, I think that's the first figure to ever do that, and it's well done. This is such a good figure. And it's a shame that we never got a modern Sonic this way either, but only classic. And I also love how he's not very top heavy. Like, obviously, like, it's not a very hollow head, and like, it's very light. But if you move him back enough, he might start falling over. But for the most part, like, he's well balanced. His feet are big enough. Like, he's well weighted. He stands very well on his own. And I don't think that's ever really been an issue for classic Sonic figures, but modern Sonic figures, it's been an issue. But classic Sonic works so well, and that's probably a reason why they didn't do a modern figure yet, but I don't know. Team Battle are probably not going to get it because Tomy no longer has the license for Sonic. And this is coming from Tomy, which is mostly a kids toy company. Like, they're made to sell, like, I don't know, like Pokemon toys and I don't know, some other kids toys. They're not like high collector grade like Figma, Nendoroid, NECA, what have you. For a collector's figure from a kids toy company, I think they did a really good job. The paint apps are, for the most part, are pretty spot on. Like, you can see like at the very bottom of the sock cuffs, you do see like a little bit of the shoe there, but I think that's intentional. But there are some other like mispaints and stuff like that, but a lot of them don't even matter all that much anyway. Like, I'll show you later, but I think they did a really good job on this. And when it comes to the seams as well, all over Sonic's head, like, I think they did a decent job of making it blend okay. Like, you see some smaller gaps, like, towards the bottom of that spine, in particular on my figure. It might vary from figure to figure, but I still think it looks pretty solid. Like, if you're looking at it, like, on your shelf, it's not gonna be bothering your eyes. But when it comes to articulation on this guy, this is the one thing that it has over the Nendoroid. It actually has a good amount of articulation. Now, when it comes to the head, it's on a ball hinge, so technically you can put it anywhere you want, but there's more effort. Like, I can't just twist it to the side and be good. Like, it goes forward and back, but if I want to move it to the side, I have to like move it rotate the head, and then slowly work its way over, and then it can like do side to side. But I never really do that anyway, so it's all good. We just wanted to nod forward and back like that. Yeah, go Sonic. And then the shoulders are universal, so they can go up about yay high, and then you can move it as much as you want as long as the head doesn't get in the way. And then the elbows and the knees are a weird thing about this figure. So there is nothing stopping it from going forward and backwards. Like that, I don't know how to feel about. And even then, it doesn't even have a lot of range, which like that is kind of bothersome. I kind of wish it would have at least a 90-degree bend, but I'll live with it. But for the most part, like, it looks good. Like, it doesn't look distracting or anything. It doesn't look out of place. So even with like the very limited range that he has, I think it looks okay, but I wish he could bend more. But again, the fact that like he can bend it backwards, that's just off-putting. Like that just reminds me of like the newer Jazzwares figures, like towards the end of their life before they lost the license. And then we got a ball peg, I guess, on the wrist, so you can move that however you want. Like it's kind of limited, but you can move it. And up, see, there it is. There it is. And then the waist, I think, is more for just moving side to side. Technically, you can move it around, but there's not a lot of range in there. But if you do want him to lean to the side, I mean, you can, but it's mostly like in his legs and feet. But then the legs are like the same thing as the shoulders. I can go forward and back. I think the best way to show it is like how much range you got both forward and backwards. Even though it doesn't look like a lot, I think it works well for what he poses as. Like, even though it's not a lot of range, I think it still looks good. I think it still functions just fine. And then knees are the same thing as elbows, like I said. They can go a little bit, and they can even go forward if you want, which is not very good looking, but you can do that if you want. And I also forgot to mention, these are all like bicep swivels, so like you can make them go forward and back, but then you can also rotate them on top of that. The knees are the same way, but I don't think you're gonna have to do that for the knees. If you need to, it's there, but you don't need to really. And then I think the ankles are on ball joints as well, but like I haven't tried popping them off, and there's not a lot of real range in there, as you could tell. So I mean, if you want to do it, it's there, but it's not very movable. And I think that's the one thing that this figure got going for it. Not just the fact that he's so articulatable, but like even with his accessories, he's such an expressive figure. He like, just look at him. He's raring to go. God, he's so cute. I love him. But now let's go over the main reason why I bought this figure. Not just for its cuteness, the accessories. And my favorite thing about it is they all store in this little platform. Let's move you out of the way, Sonic. I mean, I love you, buddy, but we gotta focus on your other things. So it comes with this little base, and you can tell it's Green Hill. Of course it is. It's all I like to do with Sonic. And the base has 4 holes on it, so you can put the ring there. You can put the stand for Sonic here as well. But the coolest part about it is all of the rest of the accessories are all in here. And even when you're done with the figure, like, they all just stay in there, and you can pick it up whenever you want and keep playing with it. That's the one thing I do like about this, is that it has a spot for all this stuff. Because, like, with any other nendoroid or anything like that, like, there isn't really anywhere to store it unless you want to put it in little baggies, or you just want to keep it in a box like I do. So this is very great. This makes me really happy. But my main problem with it is that, like, it doesn't lock or anything. Like, once you just pull from here, the rest of it just stays down. I kind of wish it had a locking system so it was like easier to carry around, but it's fine. But I mean, it's painted well. I like the way it's painted. You might see some scuffs on it because this thing has fallen off my shelf. Well, I can't say fallen. My shelf full of Sonic figures has fallen multiple times. A few things have broken, sadly, but luckily my nice Sonic statue hasn't broken yet. But let's see what all Sonic comes with. As you could tell already, that Sonic, I have, what is it, him looking to the right, and a smiling face. Now the cool thing about this figure is that he's very customizable when it comes to his expressions. You can change his eyes separately and change his mouth separately. So let's say I want him to be having his eyes closed and have his mouth open, for example. I could just pull from the sides of his mouth, just pull that forward first, and then there's a little tab right here. Just pull from down there, and there you go, his face comes off. It's relatively easy. And it does have to be in that order as well. So we're gonna get the eyes where they're closed like this. I will be going over everything he has, don't worry. So we push that in, and then we also have his mouth right here. Now, like, this one has a bunch of extra paint right there, but when you put it in, you don't see it, so it doesn't really matter. Squeeze it in, and then you're good to go. And I also love, like, how flush it all looks all put together. Like, it doesn't look like it's meant to, like, come apart, really. Like, there might be some small gaps you might see, but, like, for the most part, it looks so good. It doesn't look out of place. But before we do some more playing with this thing, let's go over what else he comes with. So as you can tell, when it comes to the eyes, we got him looking to the right. We got his closed eyes. We got him looking forward, as well as him looking to the left. Then when it comes to his mouths, we have him with his mouth smiling. We got his mouth wide open. We got a serious or frown face, or a serious face. I consider it serious. And then we got a face. And then when it comes to hands, we got his standard fists, like he's ready to do fisticuffs. Let's put you down, Sonic. We got a pair of open hands. We also got a set of pointing fingers, and they look great. And then we also have a pair of gripping hands. Now, something to be aware of about these gripping hands is they are different sizes. I think this one right here, the left one, is meant to hold the ring, and then this one is meant to hold a chili dog. It does have an issue holding the chili dog, in my opinion. I'll show you. Now let's move all this stuff out of the way. Oh yeah, here's a chili dog, by the way. I forgot to show that off. Oh, I'm wobbling. Whoops. And you saw earlier that we have a ring right here. It can come off the stand. It can go off the peg. So if you want him to just hold the ring, you can do that. So see, we're good. It's not focusing, but we're good. I forgot to mention one thing. I kind of went over this, but I love the fact that the stand itself can literally hold everything. Obviously not Sonic inside, but like whatever he's not using. Suppose the stands you don't want to use. You just want to have Sonic on top of that. All the accessories as well as the stands can fit in that, no problem. It is perfect. And I think it'd be fun to also show off like how to put him on. So the ring, for example, that's just a small peg right here, and that just slides in, no problem. And then you can put these anywhere you want. Like there's 4 holes, top, bottom, left, right. It doesn't have as many options as say like the nendoroid, because the nendoroid you can put the stands anywhere. But I feel this is kind of better in my opinion anyway, because it's a bigger base and it's also themed based on Sonic's environment. And then Sonic also has a peg hole in his back, and that just slides in like so. Now like the hole is what, a hexagon maybe? I didn't count the sides, but it doesn't matter how you put it in. The peg itself is round. It's just for tightness. So we are gonna have that. Oh, we're gonna have that hand fly at you like it's 3D.
Hello, I'm the nostalgia.
I'm 3D! I'm 3D! I'm 3D! I'm 3D! What the hell was that?
Okay, let's try that again. We're gonna have that full hand going forward, that hand going back, that foot going forward, this foot going back. And typically, this is how I have it displayed on my shelf. Let's get a bit of a little better angle. There we go. That looks a little bit better. Anyway, this is how I keep it on my desk. And with that said, the tightness on the stand never loosened. It always kept its stance. It never fell. It is very, very solid. Now, I noticed, like, I have a hard time getting the chili dog to stay in his hand. Like, if I try to put it in like this, it's not really that tight. And, like, to me, it's not very satisfying of him holding it that way. Like, I'd rather have him hold it flat. But then it, like, bends the thumb a little bit out of place, and it's not a snug fit. And I noticed before I was recording this review and like kind of like rehearsing and like thinking about my thoughts before I recorded the review, I would put it in his hand and then put the hand in, and then whenever I try to pose it or just adjust it in any way, the chili dog just flies off. I guess here's a good time to like show off the hands. Like here, you get a nice popping sound, like a nice satisfying popping sound, and then you just push this one in his arm, and then you're good.
Firmly grasp it in your hand.
Firmly grasp it. Firmly grasp it! That ought to do it.
Unfortunately, you don't really feel like a satisfying pop in. Like you don't have to hear anything, but you don't like feel a satisfying pop to make sure it's snug. You just gotta like press it in and just hope for the best. But now that it's actually in his hand and like on his arm, let's get him posed like he's ready to munch on this chili dog. Look at that. Yeah, look at him. He looks so happy to have his chili dog. But the question is he worth picking up, especially for his, as of right now, $40 price range? I personally say absolutely. He's definitely worth the price. Hell, I'd probably even pay $50 for him if I didn't have him already. But between this and the nendoroid, which one do you pick up? Now that's completely your preference. Each of them have some things that are better than the other. Like I say, the nendoroid has more accessories, especially that match that modern Sonic really well. This has a lot more interchangeability, a lot more emotion, a lot more expression, a lot more articulation. So it's really your preference. I don't think either figure is better than the other. It's all your preference. That's why I want to do the comparison, because I want you to see them side by side and I'll let you choose. I'm not going to tell you which one's better, because either one you buy, no matter what the price is, hopefully like $50 or less, I think you'll be happy with either one. And that's all I gotta say about this figure. So let me know in the comments, do you have this or do you plan on getting this? And hopefully this review helped. Let me know in the comments what you think, and if you want it. I don't know, I might be repeating myself now. I don't know. I'm bad at these ending things. So if you like these pictures that you see right now, I do a lot more of these on my Instagram, as well as other characters. So please do me a favor and check it out. And if you're new and you like what you saw, you know what to do. My Instagram, as well as my Twitter and Snapchat, are in my description as well. And I guess I'll see you on the next one, so peace.